Last time I left you, spinning. Picture it. You are in a car, easing through one long, smooth bend at a perfectly steady speed. The needle on your speedometer never moves a hair. And yet, something is happening to you. You can feel it. You get pressed into the door. So here is the puzzle. Nothing sped up, nothing slowed down. By the old rule, that should mean no force at all. But you can feel a force, and your path is plainly bending. So which is it? Is there a force on you? Or isn't there? Here is the secret I have hidden since the very first film. Velocity was never just speed. It was speed and a direction. So hold your speed dead steady, but swing your direction around a bend, and you have still changed your velocity. And a changing velocity has a name: acceleration. You are accelerating the whole way round, sideways. So there is a force, and we only have to find which way it points. Trade the car for something simpler, a stone on a string. I whirl it round my head, round and round. Now watch the string. The whole time it is pulling the stone, and always the same way, straight inward toward my hand. There it is, the force that does the turning. A steady tug aimed dead at the center. It even has a name: centripetal, Latin for center-seeking. And notice, it never speeds the stone up and never slows it down. All it ever does is bend the path. And how hard must that string pull? Whirl the stone faster, and feel it, the string bites into my finger. Much harder. Pull the circle tighter, harder still. So faster or tighter, and the pull must grow. And speed counts the most. Go twice as fast, and you need 4 times the pull. Now, watch closely, the instant I let go. The cartoons all say the stone flies outward, hurled away from the center. It does not. The pull simply vanishes, and the stone shoots off in a dead straight line, whichever way it happened to be heading. It just keeps going. And of course it does. That is just the first law all over again. With no force on it, a thing travels in a straight line. The straight path was the natural one all along. The circle was the strange thing, the shape the string had to fight into being, every single instant. Now, back to you, pinned against that car door. It really feels as if something is flinging you outward, doesn't it? People even gave the feeling a name: centrifugal force, center fleeing. There is just one small problem with it. It is not real. Here is what is truly going on. You are the stone now, and your body, by the first law, only wants to go straight. But the car is turning inward, right under you. So the door swings across and catches you and drags you around the bend. You are not thrown out. The car is pulled in, out from under you. But hold on. What pulls the car in? There is no string tied to a car. It is our old friend from last time: friction. The tires bite the road sideways, and that sideways grip is the inward pull. That is what bends 2 tons of steel around a curve. And that grip has a limit. Remember, take the bend too fast, and you ask the tires for more inward pull than they can possibly give. The grip lets go, and the car does exactly what the stone did. It stops turning and slides off in a straight line, not flung outward, just straight ahead. So clever engineers do not trust friction alone, not for a fast curve. They play a trick instead. They tilt the road. Lean into a racetrack bend or a cycling velodrome, and you will see it. The whole curve banked up, like the inside of a bowl. Watch why that helps. On flat ground, the road can only push one way on the car. Straight up, no use at all for turning. But tilt the road, and that very same push now leans inward. Part of it still holds the car up, and part of it does the turning for you. The road itself supplies the pull. And now, the little miracle. Get the tilt just right for the speed, and you need no friction at all. The road does all of it. So a heavy truck and a tiny motorbike, side by side, take that same banked curve, leaning at the exact same angle. The mass just cancels out. One last one, because it is my favorite. A bucket of water, swung in a full circle right over your head. Swing it fast enough, and at the very top, upside down, not one drop falls on you. Why not? At the top, which way is the inward pull? The pull toward the center, it points straight down. And what else points straight down always? Gravity. So gravity is not spilling the water. At the top, gravity is the string. It is the very pull that keeps the water curving over. But swing it too slow. And now gravity is more than that gentle curve needs. The pull is too strong. The water leaves the circle. And that is the moment it falls on your head. Go fast enough, and you stay a step ahead of the fall. So, going around, every circle in the universe tells the one same story. A steady pull, aimed at the center, bending a straight path into a curve. A string, the grip of a tire, a tilted road, or gravity itself. 4 different hands, doing the one same job. And that force you were so sure was flinging you outward, it was never there at all. That was only you, trying to go straight, while the whole world curved around you. Which leaves me one last thought to send you off with. Everything in this whole series we solved the same way. Hunt down every force, draw every arrow, add them up. And it works, but honestly, it is exhausting. Let a ball roll down a curved ramp, any shape you like, bumps and all, and it reaches the bottom at the same speed every single time. The forces along the way, a nightmare to follow. And yet, one single number tells you that speed, in one line, without drawing a single force. There is a second way to see all of motion, almost a magic trick. We call it energy. That is where we go next. And whenever you are curious, I am at padho.ai waiting for you.